morning. We're back. It's Devette and Travis Lee. And welcome to the Damage Report again.
This is the Damage Report that I think we're going to continue to do once a week now, or as needed, as we see fit. If there's no damage, well, I hope there is no damage, and we won't have to do a damage report. Maybe we can do a positivity report once in a while. But for now, we have to do a damage report. And the damage report for us just refers to the damage that we feel has been done to our country or our constitution or the people of our citizens or just the world in the last week. It doesn't necessarily have to deal with our president or politicians or anything like that.
Travis
but
is
it probably
lying to
will.
you. All the damage is happening. It has to do with one person.
I know.
And
I'm just saying in the future we could open the possibility
it could
that
be local damage.
Other damage.
But some people,
But for now, there's one problem that's causing a lot of damage.
Uno momento problemo.
Right.
And his name is whatever you call him. Here, we call him a lot of things. So, Orange Dictator. I call him Trumpelstiltskin. Trumple-dee-do-dee. And people who just sit by and let him do these things. I'm just scrolling through my phone of all of the tabs I have open of all the things that we could talk about. But Trump was busy.
He's busy for sure. Like, whether you like it or not, he's doing something.
He is doing stuff.
Right.
And his people are happy. I read an article that I might have been in. I may or may have not have a quote in this article. But someone said that they were happy because he was doing stuff and he was doing more stuff than Biden. And I was like, what? I don't know. Maybe Travis wants to read my quote from the article. I don't know.
Oh, I don't have it pulled up right now.
Is
it this one? No.
No.
No, this is the one on January 6th.
No, because there's so many articles. Travis, how about you start us off with all of the things, not all of the things, but I think what we wanted to focus on was just, why don't we start with the pardon? Because that was
It's not entirely unexpected. He said there were going to be some kind of pardons, and it was really vague. We had, before the inauguration, J.D. Vance himself said that we are looking at pardons. I'm not quoting him word for word. He said we are looking at pardons, but of course not for violent offenders.
Yeah, So it always said for non-violent offenders. Okay? That is a very important point. So everyone went into the inauguration knowing that there were going to be pardons, but it was supposed to be for the people who didn't hurt anyone. So it could have been somebody who caused property damage or was yelling.
Disorderly conduct.
Yeah, disorderly conduct, trespassing.
Whatever.
Yeah. And then what happened, Travis?
I mean, he pardoned everyone, just across the board, from the most innocent crime to just they just all got pardoned. The Proud Boys founder, it was really unexpected, and it looks like it took a lot of Republicans by surprise as well. I don't think they were expecting it either. I saw Lindsey Graham, like I was just telling you before the show, on Face the Nation yesterday, and you could tell he said outright, "I don't like it." Were his exact words. "I don't like it." But then he also qualified that by saying, "Well, I also didn't like Joe Biden's pardons, a lot of them that he did at the end of his term, and particularly he referred to Leonard Peltier, but he didn't call him by his name either because he didn't remember his name or he wanted to refer to him as the person that shot 2 FBI agents. But he did say it repeatedly on the show. I don't like it. And he said, I think we need to look at limiting the powers of the presidency for these across the board pardons, because it seems to be just a little too much. There's no checks and balances to it whatsoever. And that's kind of the idea behind it. But also there's an assumption that you'll use it responsibly, And I don't think anybody is really using it responsibly right now. They're using it even for political gain or defense on both sides. So I think Lindsey Graham is right. I think we do need to look at that. There needs to be maybe some restrictions put on it, and because I think a lot of these people deserved, whether you agree with what they did or not, the reason that they were there or not, the things that they did in attacking police officers and causing property damage, the rule of law has to persist.
Yeah.
People need to be punished for those things. I'm not pro-cop or anything, but I mean, our laws have to protect us from something at some point, and just because you feel like you have a political score to settle doesn't mean you can let everyone off. And it just smacks to me, Devet, of, I know we're referring a lot to like comparing things to Nazis now, and it gets almost overdone right now. But this is the kind of thing you do when you're setting up a party and a movement like that, is you get all the people that are the most loyal to you.
Yep.
And if you can find a way to make them even more loyal to you,
yep.
You do that at all costs.
And it would start
at all costs.
And it would start with these people, because they were
already willing.
They were already willing.
They were already there 4 years ago.
Right.
Now what? Now how radicalized are they?
Man, they've been sitting in the clink.
And he answered their prayers.
Yep. Again, we did talk about the executive branch. But the president doesn't have as much power as people think. His power is limited, which is one of the reasons why he has certain powers that other people don't have. I don't know. Has any other president pardoned this massive amount of people? I don't know.
I can't think of it off the top of my head. I can think of maybe groups of people that we've pardoned for some reason, but not just like people that were currently in jail for a crime that just happened 4 years ago. And a lot of these people had their court case going through, haven't even served that much time. And
there were people also who were already done serving their time, and now they're not felons. So they got all of their civil liberties back. But there's black people out here who did petty theft. I'm sitting right next to somebody who did that. Sold some weed. Hell, sold some damn crack.
Right.
To survive,
right.
And they can't get a pardon. No. They can't get a job. No. They can't survive, but these assholes get to go free because they are worshiping the orange Cheeto.
Not just go free.
No, just get
but completely expunged.
Expunged.
And then like the one asshole, was it the Proud Boys guy or the other idiot? He's on the grounds of the Capitol the next day.
Yep. And they're going to get a meeting, I think.
Of course they are.
Yeah, because, they're going to organize. Okay, I can't talk about this anymore. It's making my head hurt.
I mean...
Okay, so, yes, I was in... so the other day... so, let me take you back. October of 2023. I got a message on Facebook, and it was from a producer at CNN, and they asked me to participate in this project with John King. I will post a picture of John King standing on my porch. He came and interviewed me, and I have been getting they've been asking me for quotes ever since, and I thought it was done because the election was done. But they asked me for a quote. I think it was on Saturday, and asked me how I thought the first week was,
Of Trump's presidency.
of Trumpel D's presidency, and he just like the stuff that people say about the president is just, I don't know who they're listening to. This lady said, "How refreshing it is to have someone who says what they mean and coherently answer a question." No, Travis, don't. Just breathe. Travis, just sit there. My quote was, says Democratic organizer DeVette Baker of Milwaukee is on the other side of America's Trump divide. And this is what I said. And I quote, "This man is unhinged." And that's what I said. And then it goes, Baker said as Trump's first week back in office, back in the White House unfolded, the law and order president isn't holding up law and order, and the immigration issue has everyone scared. So that's the next thing I want to talk about. He gutted the 14th Amendment. Gutted it. And like, I have a list of executive orders, which on the main episode this week, we're going to do a deep dive into what an executive order is, how they work, a whole bunch of stuff. So we're not going to talk too in deep right now, but like, he designated that there was an invasion at the southern border,
so that he could send troops there.
Yeah, so he could send troops there. So we're using
additional troops.
We're using military force at the border now. Sorry, my screen is being stupid. He promised a mass deportation program, which has already started.
It has.
And it has, because they have sent how many? I can't even tell you how many people at this point. I'm so livid about this. To Colombia. So I guess we're not gonna have any coffee anymore. But the Colombian president tweeted, and when I tell you that this tweet is like the
raw.
Best, it's freaking raw. It's like the best thing.
Yeah.
She said, "Trump, I don't really like traveling to the U.S. It's a bit boring, but I confess there are some commendable things. Like, I like going to the black neighborhoods of Washington, where I saw an entire fight in the U.S. Capitol between blacks and Latinos with barricades, which seemed like nonsense to me because they should join together. I confess that I like Walt Whitman and Paul Simon and Noam Chomsky and Miller." And then she goes on.
It's a he, isn't it? Yeah. Gustavo.
Oh, yeah. He goes on, and he just goes on. He's like, "I don't like your oil. Trump, you're going to wipe out the human species because of greed. Maybe one day over a glass of whiskey, which I can accept, despite my gastritis. We can frankly talk about this, but it's difficult because you consider me an inferior race, and I am not, nor a Colombian." It's really good. It goes on and on. But like, now leaders are fighting with him over Twitter and X or whatever you call it, and because that's the only way he listens. Like, and like, he was going to put a tariff on them if they didn't take these people who have not lived there for who knows God how long. Colombia, where they're guns and fighting all the time. Like, what?
So he deported some people. He sent some planes back to Colombia. Colombia said no.
Absolutely not.
Turned them around.
Yep.
Turned them around. That's not how it works. Just because those people were here in your country illegally doesn't mean you get to bring them back here illegally. Two wrongs do not make a right. And they were like, no, take a proper process to doing this. And they sent them back. And then Trump said, "Oh yeah, tariffs."
Like, why does he think tariffs
I'll
are
tell
the
you why.
answer to everything?
You know why, Devet? It's like that kid that you used to know when y'all were kids or whatever that just learned a new big word or a new big concept and they use it all the damn time.
I don't know.
Even when they use it wrong.
I don't know a kid like that. Like, who are you hanging out with? That
I knew some kids. They learned a word for the first time or a phrase for the first time, and they use it over and over. It's like he just learned what a tariff is, and he's using it now as like a threat for everything.
But no. Here's the thing: we need to learn the word no.
Yeah, no, like Colombia did.
Like Colombia did.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they might lose that battle. They might lose that battle because they do have to worry about, America's tariffs and economic policies. They don't have the resources that we have. And
I'm so happy I'm pretty.
Tell me about
I really am so happy that I'm pretty because I have a good heart for the most part. I don't really hate people because this dude, birthright citizenship, what goes back to when we talked about the 14th Amendment, which is why we talked about the 14th Amendment. If you haven't heard that episode, please go back. Because let me tell you something, people. Some of you white people out there do not have citizenship the way you think you have it. Because if anybody in your family came over here and went through Ellis Island, think about it.
Yeah.
Trump's America is like, this is like the Fourth Reich, my people. Like, I don't want to say it like that, but you just, he wants to construct the barrier wall. He wants Homeland Security to create a Homeland Security Task Force in all 50 states. They're supposed to end the presence of, oh my God, ending the presence of criminal cartels, foreign gangs, and transitional criminal organizations. What does that even mean? I don't even want.
It leaves it open to interpretation like
right.
A lot of this stuff when you can call
right.
any gang or anything a terrorist threat.
Right.
And so then you can use more executive powers to deal with them or to create more laws to combat supposedly people like them. So that we can...
all of this stuff has to do, like, these ending parole programs, which is like the family reunification. He's ending that. Temporary protected status.
All of this is to serve something else, though, because you have to look at this. Now, you may disagree with me if you live in a border state, okay? But there's no immigration crisis in this country that's happening across this country.
Nope.
Okay? Our border is fucked up, okay? Our southern border is messed up.
But it's
okay?
not because of the immigrants.
And there's problems there, and we do need to fix it, okay? But there isn't the millions and millions and millions of criminals and insane individuals and people from mental institutions that they talk about, millions of them, just swarming over the border committing crimes. Yes, we can point to one instance in this city and one instance in this city, and yes, gangs are a problem.
Yep.
Foreign gangs are a problem. Those are all problems.
But can I say something?
Yeah.
Do y'all want to know how the cartels got here? They didn't walk across the border.
Go ask Reagan and Bush.
Go ask Reagan and Bush, and maybe watch, what was the name of that show on FX that everybody loved, where the guy became the kingpin and then he became the drug addict. What was that show called? I can't think. There's a show on FX that basically tells the story of this famous drug dealer. John Singleton wrote it, and it ended because John Singleton passed away. And I will put the name of the show in the notes or in the post when I post that the show is up.
Are you talking about Snowfall?
Yes.
Yes.
watch Snowfall. Like, I am here to like help you educate yourself in any way possible while it's still around. Snowfall is a perfect example of how the cartels got in the United States. Watch that. It was not because they came across our southern border. I want people to understand how hard it is to get from South America or from the Caribbean, how to walk that. And you need a boat. Like, you do need a boat. It's not, you can't completely walk it. And the people who are coming through our southern border are coming because they are trying to flee. Our immigration policy in regards to the southern border has been horrible, probably since before we were born. And so
Yeah.
Trump can stuff it. I'm done talking. I can't talk about it. I would ask people to, wherever you are, pay attention to what's going on with the immigrants. Help when you can, and just make sure people aren't being harmed. That's my ask. And we will be doing a show on DACA and immigration soon.
Yeah.
I can't wait to do it.
But just look out for your neighbors.
Right.
You know,
Just-
look out for your neighbors and look out for ICE and just, you know, even if you don't get yourself involved, just document. Document what you see, what you hear.
Yep.
And if
And then
you
here's
think
the thing.
something's wrong,
In Wisconsin, you can call the police, because a lot of places the police departments are saying that they're not having it.
right?
And then also get people to churches. Those are sanctuaries, for the most part. I'm sorry if you live in a red state, but in a red state, just document it. Make sure you know your neighbors' names, if they have kids, like stuff like that. There's lots of resources on the internet. I will try to make sure Travis puts the stuff in the
That's right.
in the notes. I forget to give them to him, but I always put them in the posts about the episode. They're there.
Just don't ignore what you see.
Right.
Just don't ignore what you see. It's gonna take somebody speaking up that sees something happening, and for anything to really change. And, you know, just because it's not happening in your backyard doesn't mean it's not happening. So
Yeah.
we need to look out for each other. Yeah, our southern border is broken, but this isn't how you fix it. And this isn't in service to fixing it either.
Nope.
This is in service to some whole other shit.
Right. An idiot. Okay, so the other couple things that I wanted to bring up was he revoked Secret Service for Dr. Fauci and his critics. He canceled security detail for officials who worked for him in his first administration. So, like, people who worked for him. Bye-bye security. He personally announced the firings of people he loathed. John Bolton has had... Oh, he also took John Bolton's Secret Service and Mike Pompeo's.
Mike Pompeo's, yep.
Poor Mike. So now I know John Bolton hired his own security, but I don't know about Mike Pompeo's. Like, why do people keep going and working for this fool? Like, if you're just gonna make it so I can just get murdered, like, no. Like, and then how does he have the right to say that someone can't have Secret Service detail? And I thought I saw somewhere that said if he could, he would cancel Biden's.
Oh, I'm sure you
And I'm like, that, you know what? You do, my dude, like,
you can't do that.
what?
A former
Okay,
president, that's just not even...
Let's cancel yours. How about that? How about you just walk around with your...
He has the protection. He has the thug power, though. It's, you know what I mean? He doesn't need it. He could just shut down the Secret Service altogether and hire his own private security, which I'm sure he would rather do, you know?
Sorry, I'm making Travis look at food. It's delicious. I want that now.
But I mean, that would be a way for him to do it, to just dissolve the Secret Service altogether, or Secret Service protection from everybody, and then he hires his own private security that are only accountable and answerable to him. And I mean, this is kind of the playbook. It's kind of the fascist playbook.
We're gonna get to the fascist playbook later, because we have to talk about it. Okay, so guess what, everyone? DEI is gone. And
gone.
completely gone. And if you don't think it affects you, you're wrong, because if you're not white, cis, Christian, male, that's the only person that's protected from it. If you're a woman, diversity and inclusion and equity, like that includes you. And I know people think, there are people out there that says DEI didn't work for anyone, didn't help. I don't like the term DEI either. But what I do know is that we have to collectively work together, or we're not going to save humanity. I don't even want to call it democracy anymore. Humanity is failing. Our humanity is failing. And everyone is so offended. Who is going to come and help us? Because there's nobody. Nobody's going to come and help us. Because he's out here just shitting on everything. And he was doing it while he wasn't in office. So I'm just This is one of the things that I found that I didn't know. One of the executive orders was directing the Justice Department and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. I'm so sorry, everybody. To open a broad investigation into the Biden's administration weaponizing of law enforcement and intelligence agencies. What?
At the same time while doing that, at the same time while using the executive powers to weaponize the executive branch. At the same time as doing that.
At the same damn time. Like, who is he just, I already know the answer. He's making this shit up as he goes along. He doesn't know what he's doing. And, after last week, I did oracle reading for myself, and I pulled a card that told me I needed to rest. And so that's what I did. We were supposed to record this like Saturday, and literally, I think Travis and I were paralyzed because we couldn't. Like, I just couldn't, and he couldn't. He had other stuff he needed to do. We were both stressed out, and not like stressed out that we want to stop.
We just don't know where to fucking start. We don't know where to fucking start. I'm sorry to vet, but like
we don't
because there's so much. I don't know where to start.
Right, and we are very mindful of people's time, and we want to try to get like information out, because we literally could sit here and talk and read for hours about all of this stuff and try to disseminate it for you and make sure you understand, because all we can think of doing is making sure that people are informed, because there's so much crap out there and they're already trying to get us with disinformation. I don't know if I told you this, Travis, but I was going through my Instagram feed and I saw so much AI, and it was just animals. They turned a zebra into a snake. And I'm like, what in the entire fuck? I'm taking the explicit this week, Apple. What the entire fuck? Like, why? Why do we need that? And then there was like this other animal, and it was like bony, and you could like see the bones. And I was like, this isn't even real. And so I was like, no, I don't want to see this.
I know.
Like, why?
I feel like it's a dedicated campaign to completely discredit any information that you see anymore.
Yep.
And you visually start doing it by seeing these silly AI images that you think are nothing, right? It's almost like a psyop. Where they're putting these pictures out there that are completely unbelievable, but just almost freaking real, right? But your mind just denies them. That way, when you get to that next story that you see, you don't quite believe it where you maybe should, and nobody can fact check like we even used to be able to do on the internet anymore, because if you search something, you get 7 wildly different opinions on what even is the news. I always try to, when I go for my breaking news break of the day, I always check CNN and Fox News to see the wild disparage between them.
So mine is CNN, Fox News, AP.
Exactly. And you go to the AP.
Because AP, and then at PBS when they catch up. Because, they can be a little slow. But I think PBS is slow because they are literally fact-checking everything.
Right.
And then they are going to give it to you at a 4th grade level.
Right.
Because they want people to know it. Because, they that's what they do.
Right. But we can't even agree on what the issues are, at all. On one page, the California wildfires will be the top story. And on the next page, it's not even, it doesn't even exist. So, because they have some other, but we know they're biased. They're both biased. They're both entertainment. We know that. Right.
I would like to congratulate Marco Rubio, though.
Why was that?
Because he got confirmed, and out of the whole bunch, he's the only one that probably can do his job.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
nice job, Marco Rubio. You get a gold star from us this week. Yeah. I don't necessarily agree with you politically, but out of all of those people that he appointed, you probably can do.
I don't think he's a jackboot fucking, blindless follower or anything like that,
No, you're going to do what you need to do. So, please, Marco Rubio, Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
Right.
Please get us some help. And, I know there's big plans for you after this appointment.
Sure.
And,
right.
I could get behind that. Because I don't know who...
Well,
the Democratic Party's going to
We're always going to need to have conservatives, and we're always going to need to have liberals. You would just hope that people have their country and the rule of law a little bit more in mind than just their own legacy and their own business and releasing their own cryptocurrency and protecting their own interests and helping out their supporters. I don't know. So, look, there's a lot of things we missed out on talking about on this damage report. Honestly, we could go on.
Yeah, we
for
could.
A while about
forever. But we had an episode to get to.
We got a full ass episode which will come out a couple days after this one. So we just wanted to get this out so that maybe we can get out some of the current events, information, and frustration.
Wait. It happened today.
You want to talk about the China thing?
No, it wasn't the China thing.
Which China thing?
Many China things, but China made all this AI, guys, and
DeepSeek. Yeah,
and it's I don't know. It made money, and people are mad. I'm trying to think. Was it something else that popped up on my phone? CNN be good for their alerts. So let me just go on the CNN real quick.
Yeah, no problem. I just want to, while you're looking for that, I want to remind everyone to follow us on social media. We are active on Instagram, and Devette is active on TikTok.
We have a TikTok now.
We have a Make It Make Sense TikTok.
Please like and subscribe.
Okay, what is the handle for it?
Mims Pod.
Mims Pod at Mims Pod.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we are at Mims Pod on TikTok, and you can find us on Instagram. We're on Facebook. And please subscribe on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Leave us a rating, leave us a comment, whatever you would like. And you can also go to TeePublic and search for Make It Make Sense Podcast. And you can get a shirt with our logo on it, or you can get it emblazoned on a mug or a pillow.
Sleep with my face next to yours.
And mine.
No, just mine. No one wants to sleep on your face, Travis. No, just kidding. Travis is actually the
Nobody's sleeping on my face.
Travis is actually the cuter of us. So,
no, I disagree.
Oh, thanks, Travis.
All right, did you find what you were looking for?
No, it don't matter. I will put this link somewhere But the AP News does a very good job of like breaking down everything, like, and putting it in sections. So if there's something that you really want to read about, like whether it's the DEI protections, death penalty and crime, economics, like he did a whole bunch of stuff on the riot, like revoking people's security clearance. Like it goes on and on. And
Pardoning the guy from the Silk Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like withdrawing from the World Health Organization that we helped start. Like, what? Like, it goes on and on and on. So like I said, like Travis said, we will be doing these to try to just gather what we think are the things we should be paying attention to. So this week, definitely immigration, the DEI stuff, just like watch criminal justice stuff, and start picking your battles because there are going to be a lot of them.
And while you're watching all that stuff, also watch all the financial stuff that's happening, because a lot of the identity politics and the border politics and the immigration stuff is simply just a distraction in some way for the rich to make more money. And how are they doing it? Because that's the end goal for these oligarchs, is to make more money.
I posted a chart that shows the 20th wealthy people in the world and how it changed over time. I will share it on the show TikTok. It's very interesting.
And how the top 3 were all guests at Trump's
Yes, and they were all guests at the inauguration. We love you, and be safe, and namaste.
And don't despair.
Yeah, you got us. Hit us up. We love you.
All right. See you guys next time.
Peace.